All right, so looking at this question, you're kind of asking yourself, what exactly am I supposed to be figuring out? So we've been covering percent composition, so we're still talking about parts to a whole, all right? Except this time, you're not being asked to come up with a percent. You're still just looking at the parts to the whole situation. The question here is how much oxygen, and in this case, when it says how much of anything, they're wanting you to calculate the mass in grams. They're wanting you to find out how much mass of this particular element will be in a substance. And I'm giving you a specific amount of that substance. This happens to be sulfuric acid, all right? So I want to know how many grams, and if you notice over here in this chemical formula, it's made up of 2 H's bonded with 1 S and 4 oxygens. That's sulfuric acid. We want to know how many grams of oxygen if I handed you 42 grams of that substance. Okay, so how many grams? So this still is asking you to think about that part to the whole. So we can't do the mass information until we figure out how much, what percent, how much of a part oxygen is inside of that whole compound, inside of that whole molecule. So we've got to do that. That's the first thing you have to do. You have to calculate, in this case, you have to calculate the percent composition of the part to the whole. Okay? So first, that's your first step. So in order to do that, we're going to just focus on oxygen. I'm not going to bother with sulfur. I'm not going to bother with hydrogen. I'm just going to focus on oxygen. All right? So if I focus just on oxygen, and I don't have any gram information, there's no gram information, I'm going to have to go back to the molar mass information I have about oxygen. And I'm going to have to go back to the molar mass information that I can get from this particular formula. All right? So I'm going to put up some information about oxygen. Oxygen, remember, has a molar mass of 16.00 grams per mole. All right? That's for just oxygen. We've got to figure out what the whole, here's the whole here. What is its molar mass? Well, let's go back and look at the formula. So it's going to be it's going to be 2 hydrogens. So that's the molar mass of hydrogen times 2 plus the molar mass of sulfur, which happens to be, stop. I just realized I didn't